Morrison line trimmers and brush cutters are available for almost every application, whether it's for the yard at home or the lifestyle block in the country. There is a model that'll suit. Here we have a Morrison curved shaft petrol line trimmer, lighter in weight than straight shaft machines, easier to handle for those edging and cleanup jobs around average to small yards. Starting up your line trimmer or brush cutter. Safety equipment is paramount when it comes to operator safety. Morrison recommends, at a minimum, appropriate safety glasses, ear muffs or plugs and gloves when operating power garden products. So, once we've fueled up the engine with fresh, recommended 2-stroke fuel mix, we can now start it. So let's prime the carburetor by pushing this primer bulb here with your finger. You can push it as many times as you like, as it only circulates fuel through the carburetor and will not flood the engine. Slide choke lever onto full choke and turn on the engine switch here. Lock the throttle on half revs like this and pull the starter cord until the engine starts or gives a starting up type sound. The engine will normally keep running, therefore slide the lever off the choke position and the trimmer will be ready to use. Or, if the engine stops, immediately slide the choke to the off position and pull starter cord. The engine should run normally. If the engine stops, again immediately repeat this starting procedure. The Morrison range use reliable 2-stroke engines. Some are smaller, lightweight options to the larger, more powerful brush cutter engines. These compact and powerful lightweight engines can be used on any angle or even upside down if required, especially useful when edging between concrete and lawn. Let me show you on this curved shaft model. Spin the shaft handle around and turn unit over like this, and here you get an effective edger. Use your thumb to control the throttle, and keeping the line trimmer at right angles, it can then be run along the edge like this. Very useful. Normal trimming like this is effective for tidying up around fences, trees, and other applications. A handy tip is to move from right to left when trimming with a curved shaft trimmer, as this tends to direct cut grass away from the operator. The Morrison line trimmer and brush cutter range use a variety of different cutting devices. Let me show you. The curved shaft units use these tap-and-go nylon heads, ideal for grass and weeds. The button on the base of the head unit releases nylon as you need it. As the nylon wears and breaks, simply tap the head of the trimmer on the ground or any firm surface to release more nylon from the spool. The cutter on the safety guard here trims the nylon to the correct length. The straight shaft line trimmer is more versatile. It not only has the tap-and-go system, but it also comes standard with these grass blades. These are used for more demanding grass, light brush and weeds. The larger Morrison brush cutter has these cutting options: tap-and-go head, grass blade, and this 80-tooth saw blade for cutting brush and other hard woody type material. The Morrison straight shaft petrol line trimmer and brush cutter have long reach shafts that have a solid steel drive shaft running off a centrifugal clutch mounted on the engine and down into this gearbox here. This drive system is very strong and reliable and is recommended for heavy work, longer running times, and applications where more performance is required. This Morrison brush cutter has a bull bar handle setup and a pivoting power head. This is a serious machine for larger, more demanding conditions where grass and brush require cutting. This machine should only be operated with a full harness fitted with the brush cutter unit clipped on like so. This balances the brush cutter and allows the weight to be proportioned across the operator's waist and shoulders, reducing fatigue and tiredness on those big jobs. Harness. To fit your harness, put your hands through the 2 shoulder straps and pull the straps down to tighten. Then connect the front clasp. You'll hear a gentle click like a seat belt. The belts may need some adjustment to fit comfortably. Once all your belts and straps are set up, check your shoulder straps are snug. You can then locate the brush cutter onto the harness. Ensure the brush cutter sits against the pad on the harness. This pad is known as a protector pad and basically stops the direct contact of the brush cutter against your leg and clothing. The harness then takes all the weight, distributing it to your shoulders, back and core. Fitting blades. To fit the steel blades to a brush cutter or straight shaft line trimmer, you'll need the tools supplied in your kit. Select the appropriate steel blade that comes with your machine. We need to remove the nylon head first by locking the spindle with the L-shaped tool through the hole on outer shield onto the flange so it locks tight, and then unwind head turning clockwise. Okay, once we have this off, we need to place the blade on this inner flange here. This grass blade can go up either way, but this 80-tooth saw blade goes on with the printed numbers facing up toward the gearbox. Next, we place the flat washer onto gear shaft with recess facing toward blade, and then the cupped flange facing inwards, and tighten the nut anti-clockwise. Replacing nylon in a Morrison tap-and-go head. It is not necessary to take the complete head off the trimmer. However, you may find it a little easier if you do. Firstly, push tab and twist clockwise slightly to release the nylon head retainer. Remove this and pull out the inner spool, being careful not to lose the spring inside. For large nylon heads, cut off 4 meters of new nylon. Ensure you replace it with the equivalent diameter and fold total length in half so you have 2 meters of matching nylon. Then cut. Insert the 2 cut ends in opposite holes in spool. Insert in the same direction as the cord is to be wound. This is marked on the spool. Bend over the nylon ends, then bring nylon together like this and wind both lengths in the same direction until fully wound, leaving approximately 10 centimeters out from the end on each length. Trim if necessary. These can now be pressed into the spool locks like this. Insert the nylon through the eyelets. Line up the locking slots with eyelets and push down firmly, releasing the nylon from the spool locks. Finally, line up the 4 lugs on spool housing, press firmly into place, and turn slightly anti-clockwise. You'll notice the tab locking into place. If you have taken head completely off, reinstall. You're ready to go. All products in the Morrison Outdoor Garden range come complete with a 24-month customer warranty, offering you peace of mind and confidence that your product was crafted with quality. Morrison, durable, hardworking, and affordable.